Okay, recording. Okay, did you have anything you wanted to say, or do you just want me to go with it?
You can just go with it, unless you wanted me to tell everyone about the books or whatever.
Okay, let's kind of start. Okay, welcome to the team call tonight, and we are excited to talk to you tonight about facing your fears head on and just getting them out of the way. And because I think that's a huge thing in this business that can really hold us back from having amazing success and stepping into, all of the big goals that we have in this business. So, first off, Amy is going to show us really quick. You know how I posted that link in our team page with the Coach Empower Hour? She went to Staples today and had 3 books made of, so it's like 3 months worth of books. It's like got 4 weeks in each book. And it was only $47 to have them bound and made into a book, and it has like plastic on each side. So she's going to show those to you guys, and you can decide if you want to do it. She had them printed in like grayscale, and they show up really good. There's nothing that doesn't show up. So you want to talk about it?
Sure. I feel like, oh, see, I have my Price is Right shirt on, so I'm like one of the, but I didn't shower today, so it kind of ruins the effect. Anyway, so this is the book, and it has a plastic cover on the front and then a black plastic one on the back, so it'll protect it a bit more. I had them do 4 weeks worth in each. And I just, like Katie said, I did it in grayscale, and so you can see like it showed up great in grayscale. You should be able to read everything on it, and it was they gave me a coupon, so it was $47 for 3 months worth of these. So I think it's totally worth it for what you get on these. And then the other thing I bought was I got these little Post-it flags, so that if there is something that like is really important, or I have someone I'm really, really excited about, I can flag that page. And I can also flag like where I'm at in the week, and I can move that flag so then I can know like, oh, okay, I can just flip right to this page and it's there. And oh, there was something on this page that I wanted to refer back to. So I bought some of these Post-it flags because I think that that will help me as well. Know that I need to go back and reference something on that page periodically. And I'm hoping that that will help. And they have like cute little ones that say to do, and then it makes it fun and colorful.
That's awesome. I love that idea. I'm totally doing that. I love it. Okay. Something keeps popping up on my computer. Okay. Okay, you guys. So fear. We're going to talk about fear tonight. And it's probably something that we've all had to face a lot in this business. And tonight, as I was trying to think of what we wanted to talk about, I was talking to Amy about it, trying to come up with a good thing to talk about. And I decided to listen to a few trainings from different coaches and stuff on facing your fears. And it just hit me how fear is, you have to face it from the inside out. And it's all made up in your mind. Like, fear is not really a thing. It's something that you just start making up in your mind. So Josh Coates explained it really good. He was saying how in your mind we have this little teeny part of our brain that, like, if you're in uncharted territory or in a place of you're not sure about something, your brain automatically hits this thing like, oh, maybe this isn't right, maybe you should run, maybe you should go do something else. And it's kind of like a smoke detector in your house. So it doesn't go off like when your house is on fire, it goes off if it smells a little smoke to like give you this warning. And that is exactly what this part of your brain does. It just gives you this little warning. So as coaches, we go into a lot of uncharted territory. Before this, we were not like posting our lives out on social media. We were not telling like deep down stories of ourselves for everybody to know about. We weren't messaging random people that we had never talked to in our entire lives. There's so many things in this business that our brains are like, wait, this is scary. What if they don't like me? What if they ignore me? What if they tell me no? You know, we start thinking these things up in our mind and it makes it big. We make it really big when it's really not a big thing. And we weren't ever just making friends. I don't know about you guys, but I was really careful about the friends I made on Facebook. I kept it my family and my close friends, and I didn't want random people I didn't know. Even the people when I moved to Arizona, even the people at the school I worked at, when I get a friend request from them, I'm like, I don't really know them that well. I don't know if I want them seeing like pictures I'm posting of my kids. Like I was so careful. And so all of these things that we're having to do in this business is uncharted territory. So it's like we have this little smoke alarm going off in our brain constantly telling us, oh, like, hold on a minute, you know, maybe what if, and we start imagining things that aren't really a big deal, but we're making them a big deal. So the thing about that little thing in our brain is it is made up of, it's not logical. It's not real. It's just a kind of a what if factor. There's, oh, you better be careful here, you know. I have all of these notes, so I've got to keep looking at my notes. And then our thoughts become beliefs. So as we're going along and we're thinking, oh, I don't think I should go friend request all these people because what if they don't like me? What if they don't think I know what I'm talking about? Then we start believing that. And we start really thinking, oh my gosh, maybe I'm not a good coach. Maybe I can't inspire people. Maybe I can't help people. And so the more you think about things and the more you start getting scared about things and thinking it over and over in your mind, then you kind of freeze. Like I've been in this situation a lot where all of a sudden I'm like, I don't even know what to do. Like I'm scared to send these messages. So maybe I won't send these messages. And then it goes a few days and then I'm totally frozen because I have built up in my mind over and over that maybe people don't want to hear from me. Maybe I'm bugging them. Maybe, you know, you just start imagining things. And that's what fear is built up of, is just little thoughts in your mind that aren't even true. So we have got to dig deep inside ourselves and face our fears from the inside out. Because if you really think about the business and what we do and the people that you've met and the things that we can accomplish in this business, there's so much more good that we can accomplish than there's anything to be fearful of. And I always think about myself. And what if Shelly was scared to invite me for the 50th time because I said, no, I'm not interested. Please quit asking me. I remember sending her a message like, I love following your journey, but please quit inviting me. Like, I seriously do not want to do this. This is not me. I would never post my workouts online. I would never do this. And she kept asking. She kept showing up. She kept being this bright light on Facebook for me to follow every single day. So I think about that with me. You know, if I decided to be fearful, if I decided to not show up every day, if I decided to not invite, like I wouldn't have half of you guys on my team. I wouldn't have met half of you guys, And and what if there's that one person that is like, oh my gosh, the second you message them, then they're like, oh my gosh, you must have been led to me. I've had this so many times. People say, you seriously must have been led to me. I have been looking for something like this. I need something like this in my life. What if I wasn't in tune and was too scared to send that message that day? I have a challenger right now that has so many autoimmune diseases. And she has been so sick for years, on top of depression and just her whole body hurts. And she has a daughter on a mission that has a lot of the same. They have fibromyalgia, they have all of these different things, and depression and anxiety and a lot of problems. Well, it's funny because I honestly remember my first message to her. And I kind of judged the book by the cover before I even messaged her. I'm like, oh, she's kind of older. I don't know if this would be her. Like, maybe she's not my tribe of person. Maybe she, I don't know if we'll really connect. She's like 57. And because we start thinking of in terms of, I got to find my tribe, my people like me, And I hear that all the time from coaches too. Like, I don't think I found my tribe. And I'm like, you know what, honestly, even if they're not your tribe, there's so many people that need help, and that can't be another fear, another excuse. So I reached out to her anyway. She bought a challenge pack within like an hour of my first message to her because she was so excited to see if Shakeology could help her. Well, yesterday, all of a sudden I get this random phone call from a number I wasn't sure who it was, and she's like, oh my gosh, I just clicked on contact coach and it called you. I'm so sorry. And I'm like, no, I'm so glad you called me. Well, she told me that she has been stuck in bed for like 5 years. She said of like the 7 days of the week, she might have would have got out of bed one day of the week for a couple hours, but most of the time she lays in bed all the time because she's just in pain. Ever since she started my challenge group and started drinking Shakeology, she gets up, makes her bed, works out, and doesn't go back to bed for the entire day. She's like, my husband thinks he's married a whole new person. Like, this is so weird. I've never felt so amazing in my life. So her daughter is on a mission, and she sent her daughter like a week's supply of Shakeology to see if it would help her because she has fibromyalgia and she's in a lot of pain. And she hasn't been able to do her missionary work because she can't get out of bed. She's so, they've thought about maybe coming home. Well, her daughter drank it for a week and didn't stay in bed for a whole week. Like, the Shakeology is totally like curing both of them. So she's signing her daughter up under her, and so she can send her Shakeology every week. And I'm just like, I bawled. I sat on the phone and I just bawled. And she's like, I'm so sorry for like messing up your plans, or because we talked for like an hour. And she's like, I'm so sorry that I called you. And I'm like, you have no idea. Like, this is the best call I've gotten all day. Like, this is why I messaged you. Yeah, you're 57. Yeah, maybe you don't want to build the business. But everybody needs this in their life. It doesn't have to be your tribe. And she is my tribe, by the way. I think everyone can be your tribe if you just love them. And so don't get scared and judge people by their cover. Like the book on their front page, like, okay, maybe, I don't know because you never know. You never know until you send that message. So get out of your own way. Okay, the definition, what is fear? Fear is false evidence appearing real. It's an emotion. It fills you with emotion. You start believing it's real. You think a lot about it, and then it starts becoming, because you think it so much, it starts to really happen. Okay. So when you first, like, we're going to buy your challenge pack, were you kind of like iffy of pushing, like, buy the challenge pack? Like, I seriously was one of those you hate to, like, sign up. I said no for 6 months. And then I sat there reading over everything, like, do I dare? I don't have the money. Am I even gonna like Shakeology, or am I gonna waste $100 on it? Am I really gonna stick to this program? Like, you start with fear right off the bat, because are you gonna be successful at this? Are you gonna be able to stick to the program and actually get results? Do you even like Shakeology? You're scared from the beginning. Well, it's like the fear, you get fear because it's unknown territory. You don't know. And it's kind of like when your kids go to bed at night and everything's fine, and then you shut off the light. And then everyone gets nervous, and they're like, oh my gosh, there's like a monster in my closet and something under my bed, and it's because it's dark and they can't see and they don't know what's going on because it's dark in their room. And I even do it. Like, my husband will be gone and I'll turn off my light and I count how many steps I can jump to my bed, because who knows what's under my bed. You start making stuff up in your mind because it's unknown. It's dark. I'm going to trip on something. Maybe there's a mouse on the floor. Like, you don't know what's going on, and it just freaks you out. And so, just like buying that challenge pack, you didn't know. You had never done the program. You had never drank Shakeology. You had never tried this eating plan with little containers, and who knows, like, it might be the stupidest thing you've ever tried, but you don't know how you do it. And then your coach comes to you and they're like, you would be an amazing coach. You're inspiring. You're showing up in the challenge group every day. You're doing all these amazing things. Have you ever thought of being a coach? And you think, yeah, but oh my gosh, that freaks me out. Like, how could I ever inspire someone? And I haven't even hit my goal weight. How could all these other fears start in your head? And you're like, I've only lost maybe 5 pounds, and I do love the Shakeology. I do love the workouts, but how am I supposed to lead anybody else to success when I barely started? And I get this all the time from my new coaches, like, maybe let me work on me for the first couple of months and then I'll see what I think. Well, the truth is, you guys, you're most inspiring from the get-go, from the very beginning, when you haven't hit your goals, when you're so excited about what you're doing, when you're just starting out and learning yourself. You're relatable. People want to do this with you because you're so excited and you've just started this new fun adventure. You're rocking it. They're seeing you show up every day. That's when you're inspiring, and that's when they want to do it with you, because they can totally relate. You're not this ripped gym girl that they can't even think to even begin to be like, you know? So you've got to throw all of those thoughts, they're thoughts. And then you are doing awesome. You finally decide to be a coach. You get all these people going in your challenge groups. You're rocking out your challenge groups. You're inspiring. You're motivating. And then your coach is like, so you're doing awesome, but don't you want to build a team and build your income and do all these awesome things? And then you're like, oh my gosh, how could I ever lead a bunch of coaches and be a team leader and have my own team name? Like, I remember when I went diamond, Shelly's like, Katie, you need a team name. And I'm like, no, I'm going to be Team Fit to Freedom forever. I'm not doing my own thing. Like, I was not going to be my own team name. And she's like, you have 2 weeks. She's like, I give you 2 weeks and I'm like kicking you out of the nest, because you have got to like step out and be a leader. And I was so scared. Like, I'm like, I can't do this. Like, I totally was like, I cannot like lead people. How could I ever like run my own team calls? And you know, it's all of these fears of the unknown, uncharted territory, where I would always get my team on her team calls, and I would just let her do it. And then when I thought, oh my gosh, I've got to run my own team calls, and what the heck am I going to ever teach them or talk to them about? And the thing is, you guys, if you never run into a fear, you're never growing, because you're kind of, if you're feeling comfortable and you're not fearful of anything, it means you're staying in the same spot all the time. But once you start having fears, it's because you're stepping forward and you're doing things you've never done before, and you're running your own team calls, and you're posting about coaching, and you're messaging people and saying, join my team because you are a rock star and I need someone like you on my team. And you're doing all of these things that are freaking scary, but they shouldn't be. Really, like, think about this. This is like the coolest, most amazing job full of blessings I've ever done. And it's so funny because this call I was listening to from Josh Coates, he was saying, like, you know, Beachbody is a super hard business to do, because you start talking to people about changing up their nutrition and not eating the way they've always ate. And you start talking to people about, yeah, it's going to be hard, but you can get up at 4:30 in the morning and work out. Like, people don't want to do that, and they don't want to change their whole lifestyle. And he was saying, like, you know, the only thing that would make Beachbody even harder is to add religion and politics, because like teaching people how to eat and change their whole life and do things they've never done, like, that's why not very many of them stick to it, because they're not committed to it like we are. You know, you have to find the people who are ready to step into their better self. And so that is, Beachbody super, it is a hard business, but because it's so hard, because we have to work so hard, because we have to inspire and show up and do all of these things every day. We don't just wrap someone in saran wrap and say, okay, like, good luck. You're gonna be like 2 inches littler tomorrow. Like, we have to teach people to like work and do it the right way. And it's hard because a lot of people just aren't willing. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so, and then we're going to talk about how to overcome your fears. Okay, one of the biggest ways, number one, write this down, is say your fear out loud to a friend who supports what you're doing. Like, not someone who is like going to say, oh, you'll be okay. Like, don't worry about doing that. So if you have a fear of, you know, stepping out and doing something big with your business that you have just been scared to do, if you say it out loud, this is why you need to say it out loud, is because when your little part of your brain, your little smoke alarm goes off, it's a warning because it's uncharted territory, but it's not logical. It's not. So when you say it out loud, then your brain can hear it and you can think about it and think, that's so stupid that I'm so worried about this, because what could happen? You know, what would happen? What's the pros and cons if I do step out and do this? And usually only good things will come from it. You'll grow as a person. You'll be amazing. And once you say it out loud, then you can really think about it and hear it logically. And so, but the problem is, a lot of people will say it to, like, maybe you have a spouse or a family member that doesn't 100% support your Beachbody business. And then they're like, you know what? You're a good mom. Like, you don't have to step out and do these scary things. Like, just go back and be a mom. You don't, you know, just things will work out. Things will happen and work out. And, You know, they don't understand what we're trying to do here. They don't understand we're trying to like change lives, and we're trying to change our lives, and we're trying to become the best people that we can be. So when you speak it to someone who gets you and who is also moving forward in their lives and who is also wanting to do amazing things and change the world, then they'll say, you can do this. Like, look at it. What can it do for you? You will grow as a person. Your business will blow up because you're going to get out there and you're going to tell your story, and you're going to change people's lives, and people are going to read your story who need to hear it. So that's number one, is speak it out loud to someone who supports your journey. Number two, you need to say this, ask yourself, what do I have to lose versus what do I have to gain? So, say maybe one of your fear is, I don't have enough people that would want to do this Beachbody thing with me. So, you know, think about this. Did you sign up with someone that you knew? I guess Amy did, but really, I didn't. I knew Shelly a little bit, but it's not like, I mean, we became friends on Facebook first. And that's really 90% of my team came to me through clean eating groups or something like that. So I didn't have a lot of friends. Like I said, when I became a Beachbody coach, I was weird about adding random people to my friends list. So I just didn't have a ton of people to go to and talk to. And so that is a fear that you need to like throw out the window and say, there are billions of people on social media that I can go make friends with, that I can talk to, that I can have relationships with, and I can invite. And I think that's a big part of like, I've had so many people say, okay, I've messaged all my friends and none of them want to do it. And I'm like, really? Because when I signed up as a coach, Shelly told me, message 30 people a day. Start at the top of your friend list, message 30 people a day until you run out of friends. But she said every single day, you better be adding friends, because if you're messaging 30 people a day, you're going to run out of friends pretty dang fast. So that's what I did. I was adding friends, messaging 30 people a day, none of which I even knew. They were all cold invites. And the funny thing is, if you do know them, if you do go after your family, they are the least to really support you, or the least to really want to do it with you. And I think I've signed up every single one of my sisters and one of my brothers and my mom and my dad, and none of them but Callie has kind of wanted to do it with me. You know, they mostly just did it to support me and buy a challenge pack from me. So you'll actually do better at finding people who want to do this with you outside of your warm market. So throw that excuse right the heck out the window, because it doesn't matter if you have just a few friends right now. You're going to have thousands pretty soon. You're going to just go out there and make friends. You're going to add tons of friends every day. And so, that is the thing. Like, what if you ask yourself, what do I have to lose versus what do I have to gain? You can lose a lot if you just sit there and don't make new friends. If you add tons of friends and you just start messaging people, that's where your business is going to grow. And that's what you have to gain from it. And then we already talked about the fear of not having a transformation. And a lot of people feel like they don't have a story. And I hear this all the time, like, well, my story's so boring. Like, I don't really have like a rags to riches story, or I don't really have like an amazing transformation story. Or, okay, you guys, I just have to tell you, you have to dig deep down in. Find stories from your childhood. Find stories from as you grew up. There is so much you can tell. And if you commit to getting raw and real and digging into your story, like, it doesn't have to be the same story every time. when I first started, I would tell the story of like we had no money. We were living in my husband's grandparents' house with no rent and no money, and I couldn't ever sign my kids up for anything. And then, I kind of went the money route and I went into a depression and I gained all this weight, and that's kind of the story I'd always tell. Well, then, like, I kind of got sick of telling the same story. But the truth is, like, you kind of got to tell the same stories over and over and over because different people are going to see it all the time. But also, tell other stories. Like, I told the story, I showed you guys the story that I told of, like, how scared I was when I found out I was pregnant and I was going to have to get married, and I was going to tell, how was I going to turn out? Like, I was so scared, and was I really ready to be a mom, and la la la. Everything that's happened in your life is a story that's got you to where you are today. So sit down and just hash out your life. Figure out all of the little things that have gotten you to where you are today and start putting them into little posts and different stories and start sharing your life with people. Another little funny thing Josh Coates talked about was people all the time. I heard this all the time too. I've had so many coaches quit because they're like, there's 450,000 coaches. Like, the market is oversaturated with coaches, and what do I have to say that any other coach doesn't have to say? And I don't want to compete with all these people. And I'm here to tell you, this is what's so funny, is once you become a Beachbody coach, all of a sudden, all you see is Beachbody coaches in your newsfeed because that's who you're surrounding yourself with. That's your team. But I can promise you, before I signed up as a Beachbody coach, the only Beachbody coach I ever saw was Shelly in my newsfeed because we were friends. So he was talking about he lives in this little town. He's like, most people have never even heard of it. And when I bring it up to people, they're like, where is that even? I've never even heard of it. And he goes, but do you know what? He goes, our population is 450,000 people. He's like, and nobody's even heard of it. So it's this teeny little small piece of all the millions of people on the internet. It doesn't even kind of make a speck in here. And the funny thing is, probably 80% of them are discount coaches. Like, probably most of them don't even do the business. So that has got to be thrown out of the picture too. He was talking about how funny it is because he hears coaches all the time say, well, every other coach is telling their story. So it's weird that I'm out there telling my story. We're all out there telling our stories. And he's like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Like, half the people won't even see half of your friends won't even see your story half the time. And they might only be friends with you, who is a Beachbody coach. They're not going to see all 450,000 Beachbody coaches telling their story every day. So that has got to just be a fear that's just thrown out the window because honestly, it doesn't even make a speck in Facebook or Instagram or anything of the millions of people that we can touch and we can become friends with. So, okay. Okay, one more thing I wanted to little tip is I hear a lot of coaches say, what if I don't have the time? They have a fear that they don't have the time to put into their coaching business. Well, this is another little thing I got from Josh Coates that just made me laugh because it's so true, is a lot of coaches become coaches and they start making YouTube videos and they start doing all of these things, making a website, making a Pinterest board, making, all of these things that aren't building their business. And he's like, you know what? If coaches, he goes, the secret sauce to being a successful coach is the vital behaviors. If they got on Facebook every day and spent 1 hour doing the vital behaviors, then their business would blow up. He's like, but instead they get on and they go make a video and they go talk to their team and they go they go to Pinterest and start pinning stuff for their challenge groups. And then they go make some awesome video for their challenge group. And he's like, and then 3-4 hours have gone by and they've never done the vital behaviors. And I'm like, that is so me. That is so me. And that is exactly what happens. Like, that is exactly why coaches feel like they don't have the time, because they're looking at all these shiny objects of the things that they could be doing, making awesome YouTube videos that people could give a crap less about, making awesome things for their challenge groups when really their challengers are just happy to see their face show up at their challenge group. Like, you don't have to do things crazy amazing. Do your vital behaviors, and then if you have an extra hour, then you can go do something fun that you want to do. But the key to building this business is the vital behaviors. Inviting like a mad person. If you invited every single day, your business would explode. You would always have people to talk to. You would always be hitting Success Club. And I loved his call, so I'm just going to keep quoting things that he said. But he said, what if I could guarantee that if you stayed up 2 to 3 hours later at night, then you would get Success Club 60. He's like, then all of you would stay up 2 to 3 hours late every night. And he's like, but because I can't guarantee, and it's a fear of the unknown that you might not get Success Club 60, then you're just going to go to bed and you're not going to stay up 2 to 3 hours extra. And he's like, why not put it to the test? Why not stay up an extra 2 to 3 hours doing only the vital behaviors and see what happens to your business? And then you can decide. You can decide if that extra 2 to 3 hours of no sleep was worth it to you. And if it worked, awesome. If not, then you can make another plan. But in life, in this business, in our challenge groups, we can't guarantee our challengers that they're going to come in there and they're going to lose their whole 50 pounds. We can't guarantee anything because we don't know what they're going to do with it. You know, just like we can't guarantee if you stay up an extra 2 to 3 hours a night, you'll hit Success Club 60, because we don't know. Like, are you really doing the vital behaviors, or are you scrolling Facebook, or are you making YouTube videos, or are you doing the things that isn't gonna grow your business? So, and this is the last thing from Josh Coates that he said. He said, instead of saying you don't have time, try saying it's not a priority. And that is so true, you guys. Like, it's kind of like how frustrating it is when we hear our challengers say, or people we're talking to, oh, I'm so busy, like there's no way I can find an extra 30 minutes a day to work out. It's all because it's not a priority in their mind, you know? And that's just the same with this business. If you can't find an extra hour to do a power hour and just do your vital behaviors, it's not a priority in your life. It's not a priority to build this business. So that's what I have for you guys tonight. I hope that some of this helps. And I just really want you to think about the fact that fear is just not real. It's made up in your mind. And when you start getting nervous or afraid to do something, go do it. Just go do it and get it out of the way, because the thing is, if you sit and think about it, it's going to grow bigger and bigger and scarier, and then you're not going to do it, and then you're going to get stuck, and you're going to not do anything at all. So if you're scared to go invite, get off this call, pull up your names on your Facebook list, and go message 30 people. Get it out of your system. Just do it, and I promise you, you're going to have a million conversations going on. So, do you have anything, Ames?
You know, all I was thinking was, you know, for some reason, I don't know why, but my fear has always been talking about coaching and like recruiting. And I don't know why that has always been my thing. So that's what I just wrote down. Like, I can't go to bed tonight until I post about coaching and until I invite 30 people, because I haven't done any invites today. So I can't go to bed tonight until that happens. So
I'm gonna do the same thing because I haven't either.
So I just have to do it. You know, I just have to get out of my own way and get over that fear. So I'm going to do a coaching post.
And the funny thing is, because I've really put this to the test, like if I'm really consistent at inviting for days and days, it's not hard. Like it just happens and you just do it. And then you're like, oh, people are writing me back. Or if they aren't, you don't even think about it. It's just like you just send it. Great. If they get back to you, great. But then you go a couple weeks or days without it and you start making stuff up in your mind and you get scared and you don't do it. So I'm going to get off this call and I'm going to go make a coaching post and go invite people. Jana, did you have anything you wanted to say? I can't see her, but okay. Well, I hope y'all have a good night and thanks for hopping on with me and thanks for putting this link in for me. Have a good night, guys.